Hi again folks, how's all doing? So on Saturday the 9th of March there, it was my birthday. I'll show you my birthday presents in a minute, but I just wanted to show you the card my son gave me. You open it up, and it's got a pop-up locomotive. Right, okay, what did I get for my birthday? If you watch my video on the Lima 37 I picked up from Model Rail Scotland, you'll remember me saying I got two other brand new locomotives on the same day as birthday presents from my wife and my big sisters. Well, here's a big clue to the locomotives I got. These are my old Hornby Flying Scotsman and 2MT from my childhood back in the 1970s. The Flying Scotsman never ran very well. It was always noisy, clunky and wobbly, and I've always wanted to replace it. The 2MT, I loved to bits when my dad bought it for me, and it ran pretty well, but it wobbles about a bit these days and it looks a bit tired. Both these models were when Hornby didn't really give a stuff about detail, which never bothered me, but having seen all the other Flying Scotsmans and the newer 2MTs from both Bachmann and Hornby, I really wanted to get a couple of shiny new versions of these locomotives. So here we are. The Flying Scotsman is the Hornby R3991 early BR version, and the 2MT is the Hornby R3839 late BR in green. This is one of two versions of Flying Scotsman I've been after. I'd also like to get the later BR one with the double chimney and smoke deflectors, which I think is pretty much how she looks today. I really would have liked the double model that Hornby released last year, but yeah, far too expensive. But I'll get a later BR one at some point, and maybe even an LNER one as well. There's plenty of Flying Scotsmans to collect. Amazingly, both these models were the same price, and both going for £20 less than the cheapest price I'd seen anywhere else. So yeah, these were a couple of bargains. I've fitted some of the detail pack to the 2MT already, and will do so to the Flying Scotsman shortly, but let's have a closer look at each of these models. Okay then, let's get a look at this Flying Scotsman. Now, I was saying that these models are brand new, but I got them from an exhibition, so yeah, I'm always a wee bit suspicious. And I don't think this is brand new. It may have been returned, or it's just been very lightly used. I'm not sure, but the little side window here is broken. You can just see there that that's broken. It's a wee bit of a shame. Also, you can see there's quite a bit of damage to the red paint on this front buffer beam. So there you go, inside the cab. I think this has a glowing firebox. I'm pleased to see there's no silly speedometer or anything. It does have the fixed rear pony truck with the floating wheels. But yeah, it's very nice. So I'm going to have a wee go at just fixing that broken side window into position. And we'll touch up the paint on the front buffer beam. But before I do that, I want to get a wee look inside just to see what sort of motor we've got in there. So we've got a screw at the front, there's a screw there. Hopefully that's all I need to undo. Undo that screw. And just going to have a wee look at the booklet. Oh right, no, okay, one screw and it should come out. So it's going to just come out. Let's get this out of the sponge, I think, for now. Of course, it's the problem with these modern detailed models. You just feel like you're going to break something all the time. There we go, quite a tight fit. Yeah, we've got the glowing firebox, and it's one of those motors. So there's the glowing firebox. I think what I'm going to do is just open up this gearbox just to see what sort of lubrication's in there. Yeah, plenty of grease in there, so yeah, that's fine. You just never know what condition the lubrication is going to be in. It could have all dissipated or dried up. So, put the locomotive aside, and we'll see what we can do to fix a couple of wee problems. So, I'm going to try putting, jabbed myself, just a tiny wee bit of super glue on there. Hopefully that sets that. That's better. Still broken, but not obviously so now. Right. See how well this paint takes. It's probably going to need a couple of coats. So while the paint on that buffer beam's drying, I had a quick look online to see when this particular model was made, and it's from 2021, so it is fairly new. I kind of expected to see a slightly better motor than that, though, to be honest. These are still available to buy from some retailers, brand new, but they're over £200. This certainly didn't cost anywhere near that. So yeah, it's possibly been a used one or a returned one or something. But anyway, it's a very nice model of a great old locomotive. But yeah, I can see me getting a couple of other versions of Flying Scotsman at some point, especially the one with the smoke deflectors. This is never going to be absolutely perfect paint repair, but as long as it looks fine going round the layout, that's all I really worry about. That'll do it. Okay, so let's see what's in this detail pack. We've got the brake rods, the rear wheels to replace if you want the flanges, which we don't. Doesn't seem to be very much in this detail pack, which again makes me wonder, has somebody been in here? We've got the little steps, which we won't put on because the front bogie won't move very well. We've got these pipes to go underneath the cylinders. Do they just push in? Yeah, those holes are not deep at all, so these pipes will have to be glued in. A couple of wee spots of super glue, and then we'll try and pop these in. Like so. Right, brake rods. Kind of looks like this fits in at the back. And then that pushes in to there, except it doesn't. And I'm certainly not gluing that in. I'll just have to stay there like that. Okay, get that out the road. And we'll put this hook coupling on. Is it going to play nice and just push in? Yes. Seems a bit loose though. Wow, the paint is peeling off that again. I've just had to touch that up again because a different part of the paintwork flaked away and it's taken the wee decal with it, which is a bit annoying. A very poor paint job by Hornby on this buffer beam. Okay, pop this back. It's a very tight fit. Yeah. That's it. And we'll put some crew in there at some point as well, but not today. I can't get into that screw now because of those pipes. There we go. So there we go, there's my new flying Scotsman. Thankfully this was going at a very good price, and it's just as well because of the damage to the paintwork on the front buffer beam and that little side window, the little deflector window, whatever it's called. But I'm not too worried about that. It's a really nice model and I'm sure it'll run nicely. So I can't wait to hook it up to my BR coaches and give it a run round the layout. Okay, so here's my 2MT. I've already fitted the detail pack onto this, got the pipes under the cylinders, vacuum pipes, brake rods. This is a really, really nice model. I love the pipe work on it. It's really, really nice. The 2MT's always been one of my favourite steam locomotives, and yeah, I'm dead chuffed to get this because it's so much better than the old one from the 1970s. I mean, I've got very fond memories of that model and I'll always keep it, but this is just, yeah, it looks amazing. And thankfully, unlike the Flying Scotsman, there doesn't appear to be any damage to it whatsoever. However, we'll get a look inside because I always like to see what's under the hood. So, I think what we'll have to do is, we've got a screw down in there through the front bogie, and I'd imagine the drawbar screw there. So if we undo that, tiny wee screw, and then undo that screw, that out. Does this just lift out? Yes, it does. Nice and easy. Oh, we're going to have to unplug it. I know there's a special tool for doing this, but a pair of tweezers will lever it off. Like that. Put that aside. And we can get that through there. And we've removed the body. So it's a 5-pole skew-wound motor, and it's the same motor that's used in the J36. And it's also the same motor that the Horns and Whistles workshop uses for their XO4 motor replacements. So, because this is the same motor as the J36, I'm going to preempt a slight issue that the J36 has. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to get some gear oil down in there. Nice big dollop of sticky gear oil, and I'm going to get some grease into there as well. Right, put that back on. Always like the valve here on the 2MT. Right, okay, we'll get this back together and we'll get it onto the layout. She's in. Just make sure that's all free moving. And just to let you see inside the cab. So there we are, my new 2MT, and a very nice thing it is too. Right, we'll get this alongside the Flying Scotsman going round the layout. Okay then, we'll give Flying Scotsman a solo run first. Yeah, it runs really nicely. The glowing firebox is a nice touch, but will probably be a bit obscured after I fit the crew. But it's so nice to have a Flying Scotsman that runs as well as this. The pipes under the cylinders are hitting the front bogey when it goes round the bends. I kind of thought that might be the case. I think what I'll do is I'll take them off and refit them just out a little bit and see if they stay put, because as it is, I think they'll just get knocked off eventually. It does have a wee bit of a tendency to slow down a little on the bends, especially through my standard points, but that's okay. You know, it's a big beast to be handling such tight curves. As long as it doesn't stutter and stumble, which it doesn't, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, very pleased with its performance, and it looks great. Pity about the paintwork on the front buffer beam and the broken little window on the side of the cab, but you know, this was going for a very good price. Okay, now the 2MT. A glowing firebox would have been nice in this locomotive too, but you know, what a great little locomotive this is. Trundles around the track nice and slowly and steadily. It's a fantastic locomotive to just sit and watch, if you know what I mean. Some locomotives just have a certain special visual appeal, and this is one of them, I think. Just like my J36s, it makes a little more noise going forwards than backwards, but nothing to be too concerned about. And I forgot to point out that this has a die-cast body, so it's a reasonable weight and should have good traction, again similar to the J36. Right, let's get this and Flying Scotsman coupled up. So there we are, my new Flying Scotsman and 2MT. I know neither of these is a direct like-for-like replacement for my old original models. It's a later version of Flying Scotsman in a different livery, and the 2MT is the later standard class 2MT, not an IVIT class, but that's not an issue for me. It's probably quite appropriate to upgrade the local version as well as the model, really. There is a Bachmann IVIT class, which I might pick up if I ever see one. So yes, very nice models and both run extremely well. I'll add crew to them shortly, and I can see me running both of these quite a lot for a while. I still like old models just as much as the new ones, don't get me wrong. And the new ones are so delicate, it's scary. But there's no denying they look great and they run so quiet and smooth, which is quite important to me. So thanks to the missus for the 2MT and to my sisters for the Flying Scotsman. Equally chuffed with both of these models. What with the 67 from Jason, and these two models have not done too badly this birthday. 60 next year though, so I might just ignore that one. Righto folks, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea and sit and watch the Flying Scotsman and 2MT do their thing for a bit. Catch you later folks.